Welcome to a new Spin On Mourning. These are pop-ups. My name is Patty from New York, and I just like to say hello. And if you are interested in learning something new, then stay tuned for a few minutes. Today's newsletter that I will be reading to offer you food for thought, encouragement, motivation, inspiration, and I also believe it's a resource. And this is great information. A lot of the writing today is not my personal opinion or perspective because it's a lot of research in this one. I love it. It's really, I'm like smiling all day. And if you're wondering what am I talking about, well, I'm talking about the hummingbird. And I don't mean just the bird, even though the bird itself is quite magnificent. In fact, I watched a documentary on the hummingbird and it was beautiful. And it's so resilient and it goes up, down, forward, sideways. It goes all around. It's an amazing bird. The wings don't stop flapping, but that's not necessarily what I want to get into today. Today, I want to get into a metaphoric hummingbird. So if you will, take a seat and join me as I read the newsletter. And it's brief, and they always are because, of course, these days attention span does not last long. A little reset. My name is Patricia D. Freudenberg, also known as Patty, and I like to say from New York because that's where I'm coming in from. And I like to offer you a place to go and explore ways to recover when you're coping with grief. So grief is always going to be part of life. There is no escaping it. And the bottom line is that grief. I'm playful. I am a goofball. I'll tell you that right now. Grief is the lowest vibration a human could have. And this is not a matter of Patty's opinion. This is a matter of research done by Stanford University studies. And as somebody who likes to ignite your passion for living because of grief, which is the lowest vibration, I encourage you to remember that you are in the land of the living. And although all the steps of grief are actually very beneficial to some degree, like let's say anger is actually beneficial. However, with anger, you have to be mindful that the results aren't harmful to yourself or others. As long as you are allowing the anger just to get it off your chest, don't project, right? And there are books on this. And again, I'm not a medical professional. I am a death doula, as it says on my certificate, a death doula. So I was certified to learn how to use techniques to cope with grief, right? So I may complement what a therapist might recommend and suggest. However, if you find yourself in a place that's quite severe and only you know that, or, listen to your loved ones. If your loved ones feel like you are, harming yourself or others and your life is just really taking a left turn, definitely recommend medical attention. Definitely recommend medical attention. But back to basics. I like to encourage with mindfulness and new age thinking, playful thinking, by using the power of choice. The power of choice. Because as humans, as I reckon through readings by amazing doctors and research, for instance, I'll just give you one that I just recently reread, was Dr. Bruce Lipton, who studied stem cell research back in the day when it was just a theory. Anyhow, he explains how, there's genetics, right? And then there's epigenetics. And again, I'm not the doctor. I'm just passing on information, and I like to share the wealth of knowledge. So there's epigenetics, and that means above. Epi means above. And the above is your mind, your consciousness. However, most humans, I'm not saying every human, most humans use approximately 5% of their conscious mind, and the rest is on auto default, subconscious, right? This way you just do things by default because that's what you program yourself. In the teachings that I share, right, it's for you to be able to explore ways to use your consciousness, which is like going to the mental gym for a little while, create new habits, habit stacking, however you want to call it. And then as a result, we'll have new conditions. And then after that, you can go on autopilot. And really, it really works. It really, really works. However, I'm not going to go into testimony right now. I'm going to go into sharing research for you because it's so exciting. So this newsletter is called The Hummingbird. Let me just switch it up here. Let me just go like this and go like that and just switch it up a little bit. The Hummingbird. Love the hummingbird. So I'll read the newsletter and then I'll do a little backstory if you're still here and interested. Let me put my granny glasses on, as I say. I love this one. I love this one. Grief recovery. Well, the hummingbird. Dear reader, today, picture yourself not as the hummingbird itself, but you embodying its essence, small yet resilient. Your grief may feel heavy in your wings, yet with a gentle hum, your inner vibration, you pivot from sorrow towards healing, from stillness into flow. Humming, that soft, resonant is more than a sound. It is an embodied choice. It's a meditative movement. It's a way of self-regulation. Its impact on both the body and the mind, not only metaphorically, but scientifically observed. That's the part I like. What does humming do for the body and mind? Well, research shows that humming supports both physical health and emotional well-being in simple but powerful ways. It reduces stress. That's exciting. Humming lowers stress level and improves heart rate variability, which signals relaxation and resilience. Also boosts breath and immunity. It increases nitric oxide in the nasal passage, improving oxygen flow, lowering blood pressure, and strengthening immune response. It also calms the nervous system. Gentle vibration stimulates the vagus nerve, which I think is over here. Again, I'm not a doctor. I'm just going by research. Promoting a rest and digest state and emotional balance. Improves mental clarity. Humming enhances brainwave activity linked with calm, focus, and memory. And in short, humming is a natural reset button, restoring balance to the body and spirit. That's the part that's so exciting. And I just learned this information, and where the resources came from, I do share in the newsletter, where you could follow it on the website, missugram.com. And today's newsletter is The Hummingbird. Go ahead and check that out. There's the barcode where I have all sorts of links, but you could find the website easily. And the quote of the day is, "In the hum of healing, our grief doesn't vanish. It transforms into resonance," which means, like song, sound, the hum. Just you could think on that. It's meditative. It's so cool. Now, I've been humming for like ever. Little did I know, I was doing my body well. But I just like to share the wealth of knowledge. You may think this is awesome, like me. As you can see, like I can't stop smiling. You might think, big deal. Well, whatever, change the channel. And you might think, pardon the pun. With that being said, there is a prompt for reflection. Today, try this practice. Inhale gently, 3 to 4 seconds. Exhale with a soft, it's just so relaxing. And repeat it a few times, repeat it 3 times, and reflect afterwards. What shifted in my body? What softened in my mind? And a heartfelt invitation in this. If this resonates with you, I invite you to explore my book, Live Your Legacy. It offers compassionate guidance through grief recovery and blending emotional wisdom with practical, embodied practices to help you honor your loved ones, loss, and renewal. And with that being said, here's a little ticket of Live Your Legacy. And let me just go to the page here. And if you go to the website, MrGraham.com, this will be on the first post, but you could just do / the hummingbird also, or just go to the menu page and look for the newsletters. And if you scroll down, you'll see the reading I just shared. And here you go. You got Live Your Legacy available on Amazon. And also, you could do a free little preview. I shared this before. Here you go. You could do a free little preview on what's going on inside, a little sneak peek. Now, let me just say this. This is a guidebook, okay? This is a guidebook to realign, refocus, reimagine, create a new narrative. When we go through grief, it's not easy. I mean, that's like Captain Obvious, I know. However, it does help, and why do I say that so confidently? Because so many people have said so. So again, it might not be for you or you or you, but it's for somebody. And that's why I come on here and sharing the good news and the good word. And there are a couple of more books on its way. We got What to Expect in Grief, due to popular demand, and Grief Etiquette, also due to popular demand. And they were great. Some of it's written with research and studies and testimonies as well. Testimonies to me are by far the greatest. I love testimony, right? However, I guess research is a sort of, a lot of times, testimonial. Nonetheless, I thank you for joining us today, and stay tuned for another pop-up here on a new Spin on Mourning. My name is, again, Patty from New York, and thank you for everybody who supports. I also invite you to come on to Clubhouse if you want to join a grief recovery room at Monday through Friday, 9:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's a beautiful space. It's a place to take your shoes off. It's a place where we talk about stuff it never feels like it's the right time to. We talk about feelings. Did you hear that? We talk about our feelings. Yeah, I said feelings. Emotional equity is what the objective is, that you leave there feeling better than you came in. Even if you started with a good day, some people come in feeling great. They're not grieving. They just want to help others. We share perspectives. We hear each other. We see each other. I don't fix anybody, but I'll help you. I'll guide you. I'll walk with you. But at the end, you got to cross the finish line. It's about power of choice, turning pain into power, one choice at a time. I thank you and hope to see you again. Here we go. Let me just go like this and go like that. And you know what? I'm going to share this little bit right here. I hope you like this. It's Remember My Name.
More than just he was. Every heartbeat
really nice.
Marks a page. Every
more, come to the Grievance chat room where I play it every morning.
Through the silence, hear me
I'm
say,
everybody.
I was here, I found my way. Remember my name when the lights go low. Let my fire burn long after I go. I don't for what you stand. But I turn grief on a world wide web, tributes and memories for all. Cause everybody wants to be remembered. This is how